Like, if you think about what is left on 10.1.5, is 10.1.5 ready? Man, 10.1.5 is more than ready. 10.1.5, everything that has to do with 10.1.5 has been tested. Everything that has to do with 10.1.5 that have bugs, I maybe posted around 20, 30 bugs last week, literally. And I was like, oh man, this is gonna take time for them to fix. This weekly reset on Wednesday when I hopped in, I think it was one thing out of those all those things that I posted about all the bug reports that was not fixed. So they have been busy, man. They have been busy fixing all these bug things. So 10.1.5 is busy. Yes, 10.1.5 is ready. Everything comes down to like, well, one is of course these things when it comes to the classes. I think the important one is of course the new evoker. The rest, well, yeah, we also have the mage. Mage got new stuff. What else get new stuff? Mage, holy pala, and I think rogue. Like those things, of course. The rest of the things, man, that's stuff they have always been like updating during time, right? Like doesn't have to be like exact when a patch comes out. And they literally post the blue post about that. That's how they work from now on, already like October, November. So yeah, before we go into this, like if you look at the date, we are now on 18th, right? If it wasn't for this buff that is out, so if you don't know, there is a buff that is out. It came out 2-3 days ago that is tied to Diablo, and it's the second part now, which is that you will get buff on rep, buff on experience, and that buff goes out 12th, I think 12th of let me see if that is a Tuesday. Yeah, 12th of July, that's when the buff goes out, and that is why you probably see a lot of people saying that yeah, 10.1.5 will come out on the 12th, because the buff goes out on the 12th. If it wasn't for that buff, I would say end of June, 27, 28, if it wasn't for that buff, because there's literally nothing left, you know, like everything that is out on the PTR is what will come on live. Of course, some things are not out. For example, eye level on the dungeon, on the trinkets not out. The legacy patterns, you know, all these things are not, they are out, but not that we can see. Like these kind of things are not, but they don't need to be. But other than that, it's ready, man. You know, it's like bugs here and there, and it's the classes. That is literally what is left. And that cannot take 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks. If you think about how much they have done the last 4 weeks and how much is left to do, and it is 4 weeks until the buff runs out, and when people think that's gonna come out, it does not add up. Like, it does not add up at all. The work that they have done, the updates they have done on the PTR during these last 4 weeks that has been is like enormous, you know. So I definitely don't think that it's gonna take 1 month for them to be ready with 10.1.5. So either they are ahead of schedule, which is actually great, because then they might work on a 10.2, you know, already now, you know, and then just wait for this, have less people to work with 10.1.5 and then publish it when it's ready and when a date comes, or they might decide to give it to us earlier, you know. And I think, like I've always said about Diablo, it is Diablo that everything is circling around. It has been Diablo since months ago, and it's still Diablo that it's circled around. A lot of people are still playing Diablo. So even if let's say it was totally ready and they already announced the date, and the date is next week, let's pretend that happened on Tuesday, 10.1.5 is coming out. Who will play it? People might hop in like a little bit, just check it out, then go back to Diablo again, because they have committed a lot of time and effort into that game, and they might not be done yet. So everything is literally around that. The buff, the only thing which they can remove, it's not a big thing, is that the buff is actually, because, you know, in 10.1 we got the Niffin rep, and that buff does not include the newest reputation. We are getting another reputation, which is Soridormi, but this buff on the PTR actually buffs up the Soridormi rep, the newest rep faction coming out, and that they can just remove. That is not a big deal. So are we in need of the buff? Can that affect us in any shape or form for 10.1.5? Yeah, only Soridormi. But, you know, like I said, they can just remove that. So what it's actually about? It is about Diablo, because there's literally nothing else. Like, who cares about the buff? Even if you get the buff in 10.1.5, it's just good. It doesn't give you any sort of extra power in any shape or form. I think it can still come out when the buff is out, definitely. But I still think it's gonna come around that date, only because of Diablo. Nothing with the buff, nothing about what's happening in 10.1.5, literally about Diablo only. When did Diablo come out? It came out beginning of June, was it? How long has it been now? 2 weeks since it came out, more or less, plus minus. I guess 2 more weeks, that's what they're gonna give them. Now, of course, I'm just like guessing quite a lot, but 2 more weeks. Probably gave them a 4 weeks or something, game time, yeah. During this time, we're not gonna publish anything about anything else that has to do with Blizzard. No way. Mid-end July, the first Diablo 4 season starts. Holy shit. Okay, then we need to think now. Mid/end. All right, but that means that they want us to play 10.1.5 before that. They want us to play 10.1.5 before that. Then it goes hand in hand. Around here it came out, right? For pre-purchase, then something here, something here. If they'll give it to end of June for Diablo, 10.1.5 here, give 10.1.5 2 weeks game time for the people that are playing Diablo, and then here season 1 comes out. So yeah, I actually tweeted about Sordormi rep and about the buff, and I said that if we're getting Sordormi rep in the PTR, that this buff actually buffs up the Sordormi rep as well. Then we're getting the 1015 after 11th of June. Where are we now? Sorry, July. If the buff does not add Sordormi rep into it, we will get it before. But now when I'm thinking about it, the buff doesn't mean shit. It doesn't mean anything. The Sordormi rep can just be removed like they removed the Niffin. That's how easy it is. But taking season 1 into consideration, we definitely have to. And if that's gonna come out mid-end of July, that means 1015 should come before that. And they need to give us at least 2 weeks of game time of it. So what does that mean? 4/5. 4/5.